I should intro right to camera, right?
So we starting that camera?
Yeah, I'll start in camera and then we'll chat back and forth. What's up, guys? It's Jinx, and we're back with another edition of Conference Room B, and this is the first one. So we're starting off proper. We got Saquon Barkley. How you feeling today, man?
Feeling good. I'm feeling good.
So you're now part of the New York sports scene. What does it feel like? Do you feel like there's added pressure being a New Yorker? Is it that a lot of eyes looking on you? Because there's no market like this.
Yeah, I mean, pressure wouldn't be the word. I would say that I feel it's applied on me. But, you know, like I was just walking here, you see a picture of Patrick Ewing, you know, Eli Manning of the world, Derek Jeter of the world. And like you said, there's no market like this place. And, you know, it's a special place to be at. And, you know, I was born here. I was born in the Bronx. So I was born in the Bronx. My family moved out when I was young age, and I'm able to come back to the city. So it's like my life's coming in full circle.
What's the best part about being in New York?
You know, the best part about being in New York, I tell you what's the worst part. Definitely the traffic and how fast this city is. But, you know, the best part is, you know, the people you get to meet. It's a big city. And for me personally, I'm close to home. I'm close to home. When I mean home, I mean here and back in Pennsylvania where I bought my mama house. Yeah, so I go to my mama house, which is like an hour and some change away. Or I can go right across the bridge to the Bronx where I got my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, and everybody there too.
Well, we say, like, when you sit courtside or you come to the next game, there's what we call, like, celebrity row, right? There's people that you sit next to, you're going to run, you're going to rub elbows with a lot of other people. Who would be an ideal celebrity row? If you got someone on your right and someone on your left?
Yeah, I've never actually sat courtside.
This is your first one?
First time ever sitting courtside. If I had to pick, it would be, rest in peace to these two, Michael Jackson to my left and Tupac Shakur to my right.
Wow, okay. I wasn't expecting it to go that direction, but why MJ?
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, you know, I'm a big fan of Michael Jackson. My dad kind of got me on that, and Tupac when I was a little kid. I love his music. Both of those talents were inspirational, had impact on people, and, you know, it's something that you kind of look forward to doing in your life is impacting people, and I admire that out of both of them.
You're going through a lot of firsts right now, right? Like, I can't imagine what it was like the first time you had your first down, right? First time on the field, so your first time sitting courtside. What's been a memorable first since being drafted?
You know, I got to go to a Drake concert.
Yeah.
And I've never really been to a concert like that, and I got to see it all. I got to go backstage. I got to meet all those guys, and got to see him perform. And, you know, if you haven't seen a Drake concert, definitely will tell you to go and see that. He puts on an amazing show.
What's the thing you want to do that you feel like now maybe there's an option that it might happen?
Yeah, you know, I want to expand outside of America, you know.
We were just talking about that back here,
Yeah, I want to expand outside America, and what I mean by expand not only like as an athlete, but have an impact, like, you know, going to London, going to Asia, you know, letting the football is such a game that's, you know, well known in America, but not really worldwide.
Yeah.
And, you know, I want to be one of those people that help get it, you know, more in Europe, more in those places, and not saying be the face, but help start that movement.
Have you been to any of these places already?
No, I've only ever been outside the country one time, and it was to Toronto, and I don't even know if you count that.
What are the parallels you feel like between football and basketball? I feel like when you're playing as a kid, sometimes people do both, and then there's a point where coach is like, look, you got to pick one, because you're training different muscles. But what about, like, from a lifestyle standpoint? Are there similarities between how you operate and how these guys play? Yeah,
definitely. For me, basketball, I'm that stereotypical basketball player, basketball player that gets in there and gets fouls and gets rebounds when I played in high school. But yeah, exactly. But when I think about it, I think of, you know, the best. I'm not gonna say in my opinion, one of the best basketball players that ever played, Kobe Bryant, Mamba mentality. And his Mamba mentality was not only towards the sport of basketball, but just lifestyle and how he approached his life. And, you know, for me, that's how I do it. You know, you want to be great, you gotta work for it. If you look at every great basketball player and every great football player, they all work for it. They're great leaders. They're trying to put the right things in their body. Obviously, God-given abilities all there, but it's come down to one thing, and the way you work. And Kobe's, you know, epitomizes that. LeBron epitomizes that. Then when we come into the football side, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Odell, all epitomizes that.
Have you had any misconceptions about this transition into the league? And if so, what was it?
Yeah, mine was everyone was telling me that the game's going to be so much faster.
How so?
And for me, that's not it at all.
Well, you're fast, so.
I mean, that helps. But I remember, you know, seeing my weaknesses or what I'm not going to be able to do. You know, everyone have opinions on you and tell you what you're not going to be capable of doing in the next level. And more was, I'm not going to be able to have that home run speed. I'm not going to be able to, you know, say if I bounce it, see a guy one-on-one and beat him with speed to get a first down. And I've been able to do that so far. So the speed's not the issue with me. I wouldn't even say it's an issue. Just when you play the guys like Malcolm Jenkins, the Luke Kuechly, Sean Lees of the world, they're just so smart. And that's when we make it faster. It's not faster because of how fast they run. If you run a 4.4, you run a 4.4. If you run a 4.5, you run a 4.5. But what makes those guys who, say if they run a 4.7, play at 4.3 is they watch so much film. They know what you're doing before you even do it sometimes. So now you got to be more, you know, you got to disguise your game a little bit more. You can't show your eyes too much. If it's a pass play, you can't be pointing every single time. You got to switch it up because those guys will catch on that.
Say, how do you broaden your football IQ?
Watching film. I mean, definitely watching film, understanding the game, understanding situations. Situational part of the game is definitely important, whether if it's 2 minutes, if it's third down, fourth down. As a running back, knowing when and where to bounce it, knowing when and where to take what the defense gives you or try to do that special play. But for me, it's watching film, studying other players, and for my position, you just react a lot. Mm-hmm. But watching other players and watching defensive players and see how they attack other runners definitely help you, so you can foresee if you're going to jump over that dude, if you're going to hit a spin move on that dude, or whatever move you choose to do.
So you met a lot of people in a very short window. Who's giving you the best advice?
Best advice.
And it doesn't have to be sport related.
Yeah. Best advice I've got probably would be Jay-Z. I got to actually personally go to his house and sit down on his couch and with my family and have a conversation with him. And you know, he's one of the best to do in his craft, and not only in the rap industry and business industries too. And you know, the advice that he gave me, what a lot of people gave me, but when you hear it from a guy like that, it just makes it sound so much better. It's just stick true to who you are. Continue whatever got you here. You're here for a reason, and what got you here, continue to work on that. And I feel like that's where a lot of people lose themselves, and that's where I'm working hard to make sure that I continue to stay the same person, whether media attention I get or how much fame I get or how much success God grants me, to stay focused and continue to work hard.
Have you been starstruck at all?
I would say Beyonce. It was kind of like the same moment Beyonce kind of walked by, and I know my dad was definitely starstruck, but Beyonce maybe, and Barry Sanders. You know, I was just Barry Sanders growing up for me. I never really had a role model, but I loved his game, and obviously he played before my time. But just knowing the stories about him and watching highlights of him and how he carried himself on and off the field, how he was a teammate, and to actually meet him was kind of just this is Barry Sanders, and this type of player you've been running and when you were a little kid. So that would probably be another one. And Bill Clinton. I got to meet Bill Clinton. That was
You have a crazy life, man, in a very short window.
Yeah.
Well, man, I'm a lifelong Giants fan. I'll be rooting for you, man. I love watching you play.
Appreciate
Thank you,
that,
man.
boss. Appreciate that.
Good stuff.
Awesome.
Great. Okay, that was rehearsal. Now we're going to tape it for real.